what accessing light language allows us to do in the realm of self-calibration is we are able to become conduits, and we are also able to anchor in codes in a more tangible way than just like sitting with them and thinking about them in our mind. Welcome to Activations with JJ Ascension message. In today's episode, we'll be talking all about tools for self-calibration and ways to respond with sovereignty to the intense energies that are coming through at this time. I'm excited to dive into this with you, so let's get going. Welcome, beautiful souls. Kiara kaina yashosoko yama. I love being able to greet you with a little bit of light language, and it also feels so natural. I told many of my groups recently, I get tired of just the regular English hello, so I figure I'll just start incorporating light language. We're all transitioning into that time when all we communicate with is light language. It's going to be so incredible. Well, today our topic is very important and extremely necessary for this time period that we're heading into. I won't go into a lot of detail because that's something I'm saving for the July monthly energy update. But we are heading into a beautiful convergence of timelines and energies through the 7-7 portal and the 8-8 portal this year. I know that we talk about this every single year, and if you've been spiritually awake, quote unquote, for, decades, it's always kind of one of those catchphrases or those special times that different channelers and psychics and astrologers are talking about, right? You get the 7-7s and the 4-4s and the 8-8s. And I tell you, this one is different. We have been receiving information, myself and my team, all of the beautiful and gifted channelers that I work with in the Starseed Gridwork community and in Star Mothers worldwide. And what we have been feeling is that this particular time convergence point, this time juncture, as it were, sometimes I know that I've heard the interdimensionals refer to it in that way. This is definitely unique. And it is going to be an extremely beautiful and important sort of rite of passage, you could say. That's the wording that wants to come through for Gaia. Now, because of that, if you thought that the Ascension energies, the solar flares, and all the things have been coming through for a good, 2-3 years, really ever since like 2022, they've just been ramping up. And I don't even follow some of those accounts now because it gets a little bit unsettling as you're seeing like, whoa, waves of energy and all their posts. They can be helpful, but sometimes we just need to like tune out for a bit and just listen to our own bodies. So as I have been feeling into this, I have really been noticing some themes coming through in sessions. And I've also been noticing that our guides are encouraging us to obviously be coming into a place of more sovereignty and empowerment when it comes to our own personal energy, our personal comfort with relation to the upgrades, quote unquote, that we're receiving, the new frequencies that we're anchoring into our bodies. And that means that we don't always need to look outside ourselves for that support, that we have the tools we need to be able to calibrate and regulate and modulate those energies in a way that allows us to live our everyday lives. Because we can't all just, lock ourselves in a cabin in the middle of the woods and process this all by ourselves. Well, some of us can, but I know most of us can't do that. So I thought it would be helpful for this particular Ascension message to guide you through some tips, some tools around self-calibration. I absolutely need to give credit to a beautiful friend of mine for this idea. And I'm telling you right now, as we gather with other light workers, with our soul family, we are being activated into remembrance, and we are able to access greater amounts of wisdom together, even if we're just like with 2 or 3 people. I have struggled on my own to kind of tune in lately. And that's because I think my guides are like, hello, it's time for you guys to start gathering in your councils. So I was in this meeting with my friend Aoasi, who's been assisting us with our Nexus Advanced Gridworker training. And by the way, she has incredible codes that she's bringing through right now. You can find out more about her through the link below. But as we were speaking, we were talking about different offerings we have, and the idea of calibration come up. And then all of a sudden it hit us. It's like self-calibration. We are being invited to show people how to self-calibrate. And I will tell you that this is almost like a mastery that we're being invited into. I feel that that's what the initiations that I've been through over this last, I would say about 2 years, more intensely than before, that I've been learning how to self-calibrate. And I'm going to start off this podcast and kind of like, I have a few bullet points, a list here, by reminding you that one of the biggest tools that we have for self-calibration is, dun, 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 you're probably going to be shocked about this, light language. Any and all forms of light language. So when I say light language, I mean expressing frequencies through sound with our voices or music, through movement of our hands or our body, and also through writing or art, maybe on a canvas or on a piece of paper. Those are all ways that we can express light language, and these are frequencies. What accessing light language allows us to do in the realm of self-calibration is we are able to become conduits, and we are also able to anchor in codes in a more tangible way than just like sitting with them and thinking about them in our mind. Sometimes as we're receiving these really potent energies that are designed to help us, honestly, it's all about intention, right? I receive them with gratitude and love, and I set the intention that they can be received with comfort, and that also I can do with them what's most in alignment to do with them. Sometimes all you need to do is anchor them into your own body. Other times you need to be a conduit for them. So tuning in to feel that. But the bottom line is, as you are able to utilize spoken light language, hand light language, written light language, you can more easily navigate the wide range of frequencies that are coming in at this time. So that's step 1, or tool number 1, I should say. We're building out your toolkit. Yay! Such a wonderful thing. Tool number 2 is galactic technologies. I talked about this just a few weeks ago. Galactic technologies are devices or light structures, you could say, that we can receive from our own soul aspects that are vibrating and more evolved. Arcturian or Pleiadian. A lot of us have been integrating our Pleiadian soul aspects, especially blue avian beings. And I talked about that a couple weeks ago too. So many topics are coming together. They're all making sense. But as we connect with those parts of ourselves or our friends or soul family or guides, we can actually call in different technologies. There hasn't been a week gone by over this last couple of months when I haven't been in a gathering and we've downloaded some kind of galactic technology. I'm 100% serious. I can say that with complete confidence. And I didn't even realize that until just now. But I'm like, oh, wait a minute. It was literally almost every single week that they were saying, you have the choice, you have to give consent, but we would like to offer you this form of technology. Sometimes it was for, expanding our channels through our crown. Sometimes it was in the throat. Sometimes it was in the solar plexus. It was in different parts of the body. But all of this technology is very, very supportive to help us self-calibrate. Technology and the way that we can install these devices into our light bodies is a wonderful form of empowerment, that we're looking inside ourselves, not having to look outside of ourselves to be able to cope and to really receive with joy. Cope feels kind of a little depressing. It's like, oh, we have to struggle through all these energies. It's like, no, let's have fun. Let's play. Let's bring our inner child into this. When I talk about galactic technology, there's actually quite a bit of programming. So I want to break through some light language to help you release any programming or fear you have because of like the word implant. Oh, we've heard a lot about that, and a focus for the last, I don't know, I'd say decade in the spiritual realm has been removing these devices, removing implants. And I'm talking about the opposite. So if you feel that in your body, hang on. Let's do some light language. Orokoi santi shoyam arakaya. Zoya takai. Angsho okoroyama. Angsho okoroyama. Shoo, 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 to, 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 kitty, 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 shoo, shoo, shoo. Very good. Amazing. Just taking a nice deep breath. Whoosh. Now, before we transition into tool number 3 for this podcast episode, I want to take a quick moment and share with you some exciting news, some exciting events I have coming up. Many of you know the 7/7 portal is just days away. That is our Sirian gateway. And it was my recent channeled Q&A actually, where the Sirians came in full force. We had beings from Sirius A, B, and C. We had the lions, we had the whales, the water beings, we had the beings of Sirius C, Yeshua's Sirian form, and Mary Magdalene, Mother Mary. We had the angelic beings, the unicorns, the white animals, all the different white animals that exist on Sirius C. And I know that they're coming into our field, not just because of my gathering, but because we're preparing for the Sirian gateway. They are in turn helping us to calibrate and regulate for this 7/7 portal opening and timeline convergence that's taking place from 7/7 to 8/8. Now, I know I'll be bringing through more information around that. I usually put out a podcast episode and activation on the day of 7/7. But I do have a live gathering, and that will be taking place in person. I don't always have that. In person in Manhattan. So if you're close to New York City, wow, let's gather. Let's do it. Let's do it right in the heart of New York City and Manhattan. In addition, you can join us virtually, and I have all the links to those events in this little description below. Now, I'll also be in Connecticut at the Shungite Room, and it's been very interesting. I don't know that I've shared this with you, but if you are again near New York City, the Connecticut space is just a little ways away from there in Ridgefield, Connecticut at the Angel Co-op. And what I feel coming through for this particular set of sessions, I go there about 2 or 3 times a year. When I'm in the Shungite Room, I can actually do more than I can normally do in other places. And what I feel is a lot of multidimensional soul integration. So if you are noticing in your field that you have soul aspects wanting to come through and you are near that area, I would be honored to provide for you and facilitate for you and support you through a soul integration in the Shungite Room. Those spots typically sell out really quickly. So again, take a look at the link below. Make sure that you sign up right away. I'm also doing, guess what? It's related to tool number 1, a light language workshop in Connecticut in person. And what we can do in person is so incredible. I am just remembering when I was in Avebury, and those of you who were able to make it to the Avebury light language and channeling workshop, wasn't it powerful? Oh my goodness. I am really feeling like I want to open up any and all possibilities to co-create in person with my friends, all of you. So just keep an eye out for that. It's going to get crazy. I feel like every other day I'm booking tickets to go somewhere. But this is what Spirit's calling us to do, is when we come together in person, we are able to really amplify our ability to activate and to remember. So I'll be doing a light language workshop in Connecticut, and you can take a look at that. Now, it doesn't end there. Hang on, I'm almost done. This is like our commercial break. Washington, D.C. is a place, first of all, I've never been there, ever. I am American, never been to the capital of my country, and I am feeling called to go there. And what we'll be doing in Washington, D.C. is Gridwork. And speaking of that, I'm also doing a small Gridwork group in Central Park on 7/7. I forgot to mention that. But in Washington, D.C., I will be there the latter part of the week of 7/7, so in July. And we will be meeting to do some Gridwork and bring beautiful frequencies, galactic frequencies, higher consciousness to that area, which I don't even know what's coming. You guys will come with me. We'll gather and I'll be like, all right, Spirit, guide us. But it's always fun, and I would love for you to join me there. So if you're anywhere near, I'm telling you, it is worth it. Come and let's co-create. All right, commercial break is over. Take a nice deep breath. This final tool is something that has been percolating for a while. It's something I learned when I did the field of quantum alignment sort of calibrations. I called them quantum alignment calibration sessions. And what I was taught when I did those sessions was incredible. I learned all about fields, different fields. Now, this is not new to so many of you, but you know how when you experience it yourself and it comes straight from your higher self or your guides, it just means so much more. Personal information, personal intuition. So this idea of fields, using fields, literally just like that. And we know that everything holds like an electromagnetic field. We all have fields. That's literally sort of your frequency-based laws of the universe. But these fields, what I came to learn, are sentience essences that we can call in almost like guides, almost like a guide. Like, I want to call in Archangel Michael. I'm going to call in Mother Mary. I'm going to call in the Arcturians. We can actually call in a field around our own personal field to assist us with anything that we need help with. And so one of the fields that we worked a lot with in my Lightworker Quantum Leap was the field of quantum flow. And what I was told is that when we worked with that field, it was almost like we were working in the void, but it was easier on the body. And this is where they said, hey, JJ, there's a lot of fields like this that we can work with. And we want you to start understanding this. So I'm going to tell you right now, even though I don't have a ton of information about it, there's lots you can learn from other channelers and psychics, and also through your own personal intuition. But the tool is accessing different fields of energy to be able to navigate through the body and the physical changes that are happening through the solar flares, through the activity, the frequencies coming through from our sun, from Sirius, as we open that Sirian gateway, from the great central sun. And these are all wonderful ways to be able to self-calibrate. So once again, as a little review, first I'll do a little bit of light language, actually. I feel everybody going, okay, hang on. Hang on. Ari Siyam. Just do a little bit of tapping. I've told you guys this over the last little while, but I feel like these podcast episodes are encoded with more than just what I'm saying here. So it takes a little more integration. I know I'm carrying frequencies that I'm transmitting energetically and telepathically. Beautiful. Thank you. So there are 3 tools that I mentioned today that I'm going to review and allow you to let just percolate and simmer and integrate. The first one is the tool of light language. The second one is galactic technology, light technology. And the third one is energy fields. So I hope that this information is helpful for you as you navigate some of these ascension energies, as your body is learning how to self-calibrate and self-regulate so that we can really lean into the rest of what we're here to do. Because I know that sometimes the body experiences override us carrying out grid work or activating each other, some of that other stuff that we came here to do. And so as we sort of put that on autopilot, there is no limit to the changes we can make here on this planet that will lift all of humanity into higher consciousness, into joy and bliss and a golden age. So my friends, thank you so much for co-creating this episode with me. Kia ora koutou Maria. I am sending you so much love. And as always, I'm reminding you that I am you, and you are me, and we are we. I'll see you in the July monthly energy updates. Bye-bye.